Hello everyone, Darren here, and welcome back to Total War Rome 2 Divide et Impera as Rome. We're picking up right where we left off, having just secured both Rutubis and Tingi, two settlements which, combined with Siga to the east, complete the province of Mauretania under Roman control, allowing us to enact Romanization, a +4 to conversion to Latin culture, and a -1 to building construction time, which we'll enjoy at the beginning of next turn when that comes into effect. So, with that, I was having a look at the public order of the settlement. It's actually still positive, despite just conquering it with 2 armies. Normally, you conquer and you go in, that's a -20 right off the bat to conquest. We've now got a -30, because we conquered an additional settlement, it's a -10. So, -30, but it's no big deal for us because of all our powerful characters instilling fear. And I guess just maybe the people feel liberated, for all I know. I don't know. Either way, they love it. They're happy that we're here, even right now as we sit in multiple towns. Of course, we're converting the culture. It's 46%. Let's not be insensitive. What are they? Numidian. They are 46% Numidian. 27% Latin, and it's gaining. Of course, that'll gain faster next turn. And we have a similar problem over here at Ibosim, although without all of these different characters and governors and all this stuff boosting public order, these guys are a little bit more wayward. They're -1 public order, but that's not too bad given the situation, considering it's 1 settlement out of 4, each with 3 different factions. Now, different factions can share the same culture. I would imagine the Lusitani and the Illyricovones are both Iberian of some degree, and then we have the Carthaginian and the Punic culture over there. I suppose, why am I just saying it? We could check, right? We have Iberian at 61%, declining rapido. Latin gaining rapidly, considering it's... Well, yeah, it is. Sorry, I was going to say, no, it's not. It is. Sorry, the Punic culture is going down by nearly 1%, and then ours is going up by 1.3. Just considering that we have the most to gain by having 1 town in there. Anyways, here I'm going to build 2 temples, just so we can sow the seeds for a bigger push on culture at this place before our governor gets there. Who have we got? We have Servius Arminius Rufus, who's going to go out there and try and help the culture on a little bit, while we wait for the armies to make their way up through the south coast of Iberia, and into the main peninsula, I guess, itself. It's an interesting province, right? We have Carthage here at Mastia Numantia, all the way in the center, and then Ars at the very corner, with the Illyricovones, all different factions, so it's going to be a little bit more challenging to keep up the momentum as we blaze across Iberia. And then, of course, we also have the Vitones in the very center as well. So a lot of different factions reside in Iberia that are all at war with us, which is great, except for the Cantabri. We were trying to kind of befriend them a little bit. Also, good news from Rome. We have 21,000 income projected for this season. So things are looking very good indeed. We haven't ended the turn in a while, actually, so there's not much to report on, broadly speaking, other than it seems like the RDA are winning the war against Massalia, as they have taken back Korea. Or did they lose it? Now I'm starting to forget. It doesn't really matter. They own it now, so certainly Massalia are down to just 3 towns. If Medlin and Genoa fall, be a perfect time to reinforce our relationship with Massalia and wage a war on the RDA. And that way we can not recapture, but stake our claim to the north of Italy and even to the Illyrian coastline and stuff like that. So that's kind of my broader plan. I don't really plan on doing too much down here, but we'll see what goes on with the Garamantians. They're our client state. They'll be pushing against Egypt. We'll see what happens. All right, so, I meant to mention, right, we've placed 2 temples here. As they are in the same building chain, they cannot be the exact same building once they go past level 1. So basically, we'll have to choose a shrine to Mercury and a shrine to whatever, a Sacred Grove or whatever it might be. They just can't be the same. You can't build, stacks of all the same buildings in all the same plots, as you just manipulate the economy of the game too much, frankly. Now, what could we have here? A fishing port, a shipwright? I'd say a fishing port. Logic would dictate in a realistic setting that this would probably be a good military base for time being as better defense. But I don't see these guys raising fleets anytime soon. And our fleets will easily protect it. So I think we're okay. We'll just go with a fishing port. It'd be good to have better food. It's actually a pretty good kind of reason that you might think about going to war with Egypt to secure stronger food. Because we only have 14. And we're going to be redeveloping a whole city. We'll develop some food over there, but they've got fish, grain, and grain again. 3 high food provinces right here. Add some food into this one. Specialize it a little bit. Boom. You'd be bringing in like another 50 probably. So it's tempting. I actually had a look. If we turn off patrol mode, on Lucius Libo. We could reach there in 1 turn. Now, I didn't check this, but I would assume, because of our current existing trade agreements and happiness to these guys and everything, we have the
blessings of the Pharaoh,
non-aggression pact and a trade agreement. Now, we could break both of those. We've had them for a long time, but then you have to wait about 5 to 10 turns, I think, before we'd become, like, not become unreliable, let's say. We're steadfast. You want to keep that reliability rating just so that none of our allies turn on us ever. And other people are more willing to join us. So I really, really want to always keep that steadfast. You could do a renegade playthrough in a way where you just don't care and you break all your agreements, and if you're strongest, it doesn't matter at that point. But I'm going to somewhat roleplay and say, like, we don't really want to do that, but I wouldn't mind if Igaraman, the Garamantians, kind of bring us into the war that they have with Egypt. But who knows? They could peace out. Sometimes that happens. We'll see. All right, I don't think there's much else to do. I had left the previous episode at the end of a turn, and I just wanted to build those buildings. We could maybe boost the groves here. It hurts the income. The grove is a very interesting... Actually, they both only hurt the income. Is that really the case? Oh, in base Rome 2, the higher up your temples go... I could be wrong. Maybe it's changed, but it used to take food. But these don't take food. They just hurt your income. That certainly seems like a DeI at Impera thing. Interesting. Well, our income is so good then that it's like, yeah, why not? Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Okay, actually, I can see what Darren was thinking here. We've got one there and one here. That's a bit of an... That's not really necessary. Yeah, because obviously I was just trying to convert the culture. So we could remove these given a bit of time, but we won't do that just yet until the culture stabilizes a bit more. All right, all good then. 89,000 in the bank. I did mention that we want to start thinking about raising a new legion. We could do that now, maybe to make this initial turn a bit more interesting. Fulla was the man for the job. He seemed like an okay guy for military. Negative 20 resistance to foreign occupation. Negative 50% public order penalties due to the presence of foreign cultures. So that's okay. Not having children anytime soon. He's got nothing to live for. I was thinking we could not seek a spouse and just let him be his own man. He's only 16. And people pointed out that Solanus here, his wife is actually 27. I don't know if I mentioned that or someone else did, but they said that seems a bit, something going on there. But we did say it was a bit more of a political thing. Anyways, I digress. Let's just get Fullo on his own in a new legion, Polydamentum. And now to business, war, gentlemen, war. I kind of like that. 4% morale for all units. 4% melee attack for all sword units, charge bonus, and morale for all infantry. These are pretty good. Good for ships, that one. I like the idea of this. Whereas there's a little cape. It'll give him 7 authority, and he'll be 16. That's pretty high authority for such a young man. And that gives us size of the command influence. Yeah, sure. Why not? I wouldn't normally pick it, so let's go with it. Armor for all units. Charge bonus for all cavalry. Morale for all cavalry. Public order. Line of sight. More authority if you're leading a fleet. Public order. And morale for all cavalry. Well, I like the cavalry one here. The Optio. Young officers should be groomed for high command. Sure. Okay, then. I don't know if he's grooming... If the Optio is grooming our man here, or it's the other way around. If it's the other way around, it's a bit weird because he's only 16. But, whatever. A mistress. Now we're talking. 2 gravitas per turn. Get his gravitas up there. 10 influence per turn for the ruling political party, and a further negative to having children. You'd think that he'd be having children left, right, and center. A man with abundant appetites must have them satisfied. Hell yeah. Yeah, negative 4 to having children. You think, because you can have illegitimate children, so why not? Maybe his particular mistress. Well, I suppose if he's focusing on one person, it might be different. Anyway, I don't know. A replenishment rate for all units. I kind of want to go with the mistress for this young man. Let's just do it for a little while. Come get a taste of manhood. Get your first... Wait, and I was supposed to raise him. I guess next turn we'll raise him under his own military command. Raise him in the winter, start raising troops, send out in spring. Actually, ideally, you do that now, wouldn't you? Yeah. Let's do that now. Oh, actually, we can start getting the forces together under the command of Cornelius Scipio. Right, so... Ooh, and we're close to the next reform. I think I initially said we'd wait until that, but let's just crank out some Principes for now. A couple Triarii just to differentiate things. These come from the patricians, a higher population tier. And we'll just leave it at that. So 6 units, 4 Principes, 2 Triarii. Triarii is what they say in this. I still like Triarii. Alright, let's end the turn. Bonk.
Peace.
You know, I'm getting offered peace with the Vitonis, but I like the challenge of it. You know, I don't want to wage any wars. You guys wage wars on me, we'll end them, you know. Your military allies at Lusitania, your defensive allies with the Illyricovones. None of it's happening, right? It's over. Alright, the Scytho-Sarmatian reforms. After continued interaction between the Scythians and the Sarmatians, they've slowly begun to adopt each other's customs and techniques. Because of their cultural intermixing, expect to see new strategies from the Scythians and Sarmatians. They're pretty far away from us. Increasing rank. Man, it's a deep winter right now. Blistering cold winds here in Gaul. Increase in rank. One of our governors. So we have our spy just milling about, seeing what's going on. We haven't found the Arverni are down here. Let's see if we can make it down to them. Let's go to the left, I guess.
Treading softly, swift.
There we are. Oh no, that's the Pictones.
Shadows. I shall rest awhile.
Aha, there we go. We found them. Arverni. Now, is that the first time finding them? Maybe we knew of their existence already. Arverni, Pictones, Namnetes. So, the Arverni, aggressive, reliable, at war with the Massalia, and allies, defensive allies with the Pictones. And vice versa, they're also at war with Massalia. The Namnetes, at war with the Iceni, and the Iceni, quite large. We're trying to find their full territory. They're at war with, Chauci, which I think are German faction. Heriscos, which are definitely German faction. Namnetes then as well. Okay. Yeah, interesting, I guess. Still not trading with the government. Can we get some trade going?
My attention.
Oh, yeah.
Now, do not try to charm, wheedle, or cajole. For though...
There you go, 1200. We're
My
trading with the
appetite for-
Garamantians. And how are you feeling right about now? Treaties 55. Release the troops of Maze easily. Did I? I don't remember that. It gives them 1. All the other stuff, pretty negative. So they're still at negative 118 against us. They're at war with Pergamon and Egypt. Pergamon and Egypt are in some sort of alliance together. They are military allies. Yeah. Alright. Oh, look who's here. Look who's here to fight back against the Garamantians' push. Interesting. So the Garamantians are here. Egypt's turn order, I think, is first, so they would have come up here, and then they were like, "Oh no, we're just over here now." What would happen, you know, if I stood next to my little ally here? I'm not. These would be a neutral party, but who would I join the fight, or would I have the option? Be interesting. Kind of tempted to. It doesn't harm us to just stand there, so I'll do it. Oh, it does actually. Well, I'll stand here. We're still in range. I'm on the border. Don't mind me. Lucy's Libo on the edge. Another army on the go, which is good to see from Garamantians. Alright, let's focus back over this way. Let's check our reports. So, war declared between Iconion and Sardis. Sardis are newly liberated. And look at that, straight away into war. So Iconion there. Sardis are here. It's interesting they'd be liberated, but they don't have... Well, I guess Sards actually isn't really in the game. That would be where it is located, I think. Right, construction report. Aqueduct and a fishmonger's. Syracuse finally got its aqueduct. Nice. So we're trying to cure the plague here, which I believe is... Actually seems like it's gone. Oh, yeah. Public order's gaining again. Nice. Okay, cool. Maybe it worked. We're going to get the latrines, I think. For sanitation. All regions in this province. They actually already have enough sanitation. Did this provide any? Yeah, this already provided 4. Okay, well, there's no harm in boosting it up a bit further, but we could go down a different chain. One with less sanitation, because we don't actually need it. And maybe one with more growth. So, interestingly, the latrines give you the most growth in the end. Alright, let's go with that then. Population surplus in Magna Graecia. Oh, so we can finally expand. So we can expand here, or in the other 2 sub-provinces if we wait longer. No, we'll go with Taurus. Expanding Taurus, and then we'll build some growth building. Again, the latrines, I guess. Just to make sure, I feel like I've done this a million times, but I always forget. Like, is there any growth building here? It's negative banditry, it's extra food. Not seeing growth. From what I remember, it is just the aqueduct that encourages that. Or other unique buildings to the, you know, region. I doubt any of these would do it. Yeah, so we'll just go with the aqueduct. Cool. Alright, unseasonal conditions in Latium, we don't have to worry about that. Households, quartermasters report. Right, so we've got some of our first units. We'll raise this new general. As we said, we'd raise him in winter, and then in spring he can maybe start to set... I don't know where he's going to go, actually, thinking about it, but I was going to just station him up somewhere in the north. Just for the funds of it. We have loads of money, so like, why not get him ready for doing something out there. So there he is. You recognize him straight away. Julius Fullo. I'm a politician. Raise an army, please. Oh, yeah, and we needed another one from our faction, because our influence was waning just slightly. Equites Consulares. That's fine by me. You'll stay there for a turn. Now you can raise your own units. You'll merge with these guys, and you can march forth in the next turn. Oh, I just kind of remembered from a very long time ago. Don't we have... Oh, we do. 2 experience ranks for all cavalry. Nailed it. That was buried deep in my memory. So, we can only get Equites here. Is that it?
Ready for orders.
Really? Wow. Okay. We could get Equites Samnitici Mercenari. Samnite hired riders. Let's see. 81347. This is going to be so awkward to compare against. 81347. So, melee attack and defense are lower. What else you got? Charge bonus is the same. Weapon damage 26, 5, and 1. Okay. 26, 5, and 1. The same there. I'm not worried about anything else then. So we'll just go with the Equites. They are patricians, but it's all good.
Ready for battle.
So if you raise them, you get 3 experience. Yep, it was the same with the other guy. 1.
Soldiering. It's a good life.
Let's get 4 of them. Hard-hitting Cav. Roman Cav. He's going to take north.
Ready for
Got the... spears, we have the Principes. Don't really want any Ligurians or anything like that. I want a good Roman army. Bit boring, but maybe just more Principes. I don't know. They'll turn into legionaries, I think, eventually.
It is a great and glorious thing.
Maybe some Hastati? I feel like they also upgrade that way. Yeah, it's hard not to just go with them all the time. But okay, let's go with some Hastati, just for the variation. And then, yeah, it was going to be Valites after that. But we'll just wait. I don't know why I'm doing recruiting like this. Might as well just pop them into this army. Yeah, actually, you'll go to Valites. Alright, so leave it like that. So he's just missing some armor, I think. Bonk. Level 1 armor. The armor can be upgraded once we can upgrade this, but we need research to do that. We're currently getting research, which is done next turn. We're going to increase wealth from all agricultural buildings, reduce construction costs, and allow us to do grain silos and irrigation ditches. Stronger farms. I think after that, then I'm going to go... I don't know why I was getting that, really. Can't remember, but definitely go into the military chain after this. So the next reform for us happens when we get to this Imperium level. So we just need to conquer more territories, basically. We're pretty much ready to start moving over. I mean, this province is happy. We're just waiting on replenishment. So you're the most replenished army. You're also fairly regional. You're getting some replenishment. Yeah, so it might be worthwhile moving Legio for Africa out of here. You can take their place. You could actually go for Gadir right now. I think we will. They're not quite full strength, but they're close to it. They're only 5 men short per unit. Brutus's army is really battered. I would say you run back as well. And the boats can work their way around. We could actually help with the fleet, thinking about it, against the coastline here, just to minimize casualties and also help reinforce the area. So yeah, brilliant. Very flexible. Imperius Curse. He's only got two more turns at sea. This whole province has to be rebuilt as well. We'll be securing wine here. Alright, just maintain the blockade for now. Now, I guess, do we have a spy over here? No, our spy got wounded, but they're here now. They're not ready to go check ahead. I was hoping that we could maybe see what's there, but Yeah, I think we'll go on land. Work our way across. So, whoops. We'll just have to stay at the crossing for now. They'll cross over, and then they'll be able to see turn after this. If we conquer it, though, we'll be able to see the region. I'm willing to get a little aggressive here. Legio 3 Sicilia with Regulus under its command. You know what I mean. The Legion is under the command of him. Now, I don't think we need to fight this. I don't think it'd be difficult. We have a reinforcing fleet. We'll probably take more losses even in the auto-resolve, but we'll see. It's what happens after, which might be difficult. Depending on what's lying around us. Yeah, so, yeah, we lost 439. Like, I don't even think that would have happened, but... The elephants are actually okay. Okay. Occupy.
We hunger for battle.
So there we are. Okay, no immediate threat that I can see. Although anything could just come out of the woodwork here, just slam down into us. We'll stay in the town, thank you. We'll keep the fleet by as well. They're replenishing here also, so that's good. Everyone's replenishing. Great. You guys are going to run out of here. So we do have replenishment pits actually at Siga, so that might help. 2% army replenishment in the region. Yeah, maybe. We'll have to see. Population does look okay at Siga. Yeah, so they might be able to do that if they could just get there. Okay, so at Tingi. I suppose every region seems like it's going to just need an aqueduct. We could go with something a bit different. Maybe I'll try the Suburbia. The Suburbia would only be good for... Yeah, let me just have a look. So at Rutubis, we have... Ah, yeah. So it is snail pits. 10 purple dye. Wealth from local commerce. So it's not industry. Oh, it is. 1,600 wealth from manufacturing. Industry. So it just starts as commerce, then it becomes industry. Okay. So then if we had a modifier for industry, this building. 800 wealth from industry. Extra wealth from farming, agriculture. That actually seems like it would work really well. Yeah. Okay, let's try it. It's just a bit different than our other provinces, but I'm happy to try something like that out. And then we need another temple or food. How are they now for happiness? They're still really happy. You've still got people here. I'll go with the food then. So this building's going to modify... It's not going to modify the industrial income, but it'll be industry plus some industry here. Other things might modify industry if we're good about it, but they will modify the agricultural stuff that's here. So these are all going to be fishing ports because that counts as agriculture. That gives us a little boost. Right, so that province should be nice and sorted, hopefully. A little different than the other ones, shaking it up a bit. Nothing really in the other ones. And then here we've just conquered Gadir. We'll not destroy that. It's only level 2. We will destroy this. I will destroy that. And that I would like to convert, but we can't do it right now. It would be good to get auxiliary barracks here, actually. Let's see, what would that look like? Oh yeah, lots of different things here. Yeah, nice Spanish Legion. Once we get the next Imperium level, we'll be able to get another army. We can make a local one in Spain. Alright, we'll just dismantle it for now, though. But I do think, maybe not here, but either in Cartuba or Iplacia. So, Cartuba right in front of us, Iplacia straight up the middle. Then we have Elispo and Ibora are their own province. And then we have Mastia, Ibosim, Ars, and Numantia. Spain is carved up really oddly from how I think it would be. It's like, I don't know why I would picture this, but I'd be like, this town, and this one. But I guess it goes by the size of the cities. Or like, even this could be like one province here. Cartuba being such a large city is kind of, well, what do I know? I'm no historian. It just seems, gameplay-wise, like a bit strange the way it's carved up. But it's probably more interesting to move around that way. Okay, anything else? I don't think so. We could move the spies, and then that's pretty much it. Magellas has leveled up. I think we said with him we're just going to do this. Doesn't matter, we're just improving the skills that he already has. And then you're going to attempt to land there when you can. Yeah, we've got no one in that region, so it might be time to start moving over that way. Our governors are now getting more and more spread out over time. Okay, alright, that was a fun turn. Just because we're getting quite big, there's a lot to do every time now. And a nice little push across into Iberia. The Iberian attack has begun. I mean, look at this. It's quite cool. Got a little breach. Yeah, the world is quite interesting at the moment, I think. Right, so just as a recap, building up our legions here. We've just taken a little piece of the Iberian Peninsula. We're bringing some of our armies back just to get some population growth. We've stationed our faction leader next to our Garamantian brethren, our ally, Klein State, just to kind of maybe see if we can protect them at all. And we're raising a legion in Italy, if I didn't mention that already. So that's pretty much it for this turn. Ah. They're not taxed. These guys should not be taxed either, just in case. All right. All right, nobody attacked me. I was certain that something would come out of the fog of war. We have a Lusitani army here next to Mastia. Right, we have our improved irrigation. Our money's actually fallen quite dramatically just there. It was at 17,000, now it's down to 13 or nearly 14. I assume because of all the recruiting we're doing. Especially as the bigger we get, the higher the upkeep becomes for every army. Because of global logistics. Which is just a mechanic in this game. It's basically just a scalar to say, like, everything's getting more expensive all the time. Urban, what was that, actually? I didn't read that. Urban migration in Isle. People leave the country for the city, seduced by the dream of a better life. There's been a drastic decline in farming, and cities fill up with unemployed men. 60% wealth from agriculture. Reduction. And a plus 30% wealth from subsistence. Doesn't really matter in the case of just one particular town, but interesting nonetheless. Now, I'm very surprised that we don't get a replenishment buff here. What about here? Really? Manpower shortage in Siga. 344 patricians, 614 plebs, 21,000 proletarii. I guess it's all foreigners. We do have 6 foreign units, but I guess the other ones aren't, so it is what it is. Alright, we can keep going east though then. We don't have to stay here. Same for Brutus then, really. Keep moving. Oh, he is taking replenishment. Oh my god, he just ran across the desert. That's probably why then. He's sucking up all the replenishment in this region. Was this Siga all the way over here? No, that was Tingi. Rutubus, Tingi, and then now he's in Siga. Well, either way, he's gaining. Okay, I don't really get it, but whatever. It's fine. We'll just move you to Isle when you can get there. Remember, population is region-based, not province-based. Trouble populace in Baetica? Yeah, I don't doubt it. Right, so our spy can move across and have a good look at what's going on. I want him to go this way.
A shadow among shadows. Is there nothing else?
Alright, looks fine to me. Deploy. We can see their spy, a Vetoni's army, and a Lusitani army. Okay. Our fleet's going to have to dock. We could dock in Tingi. We'll replenish here. Good. How's the Tingi population? Oh, wow, it's great. Well, I say it's great. It's obviously all Peregrini, so all foreigners. They're foreign to us, which means that we're the foreign invader, really. But, yeah. Foreign to our culture. War declared between Iceni and Massalia. Wow, Massalia, man. They're getting crushed. So Iceni are up here. If they come down, then that'll be an interesting one. I'd rather the RDA take it, personally, rather than going into a war with someone who's so sprawled north in a linear kind of direction, you know? Right, give me those units. This is what young Fullo is here for. So he's got his cavalry, he's got his principes, he's got his triarii, needs some velites. Go up here and recruit them. Spread the population around a bit.
Is that all?
Come,
fight for Rome.
Right, and that will leave you with 3 open slots for other things, such as the something else, some sort of exotic unit. Maybe it would be nice as an auxiliary, but could go down to Greece for that. God, my nose is like so blocked. Right, so olive oil storehouse hurts public order. But it's our tier 3. Is that because of what we just got? It doesn't say there, but I'm surprised that this is just opened up to us now. As an industrial building. But okay, maybe we just got one. I don't know. Doesn't matter. And this is leveled up too. Seems coincidental timing. But okay, yeah, we'll go with that also. So more food, extra income from farms, 16% actually, so that's really good. Having more farms in this region would be nice. It is from farms, not necessarily from agriculture. This one's literally called a farm, but I think it is anything in this chain. I think. Right, anyone that just has that. See, normally in the base game, there's actually no negatives to upgrading these, but in Dividend and Impera, there is. So you do have to think about it somewhat. I mean, this place we're adding more squalor, although we're improving it with that building. And then more public order unrest. Does it get better with this? It does slightly. Maybe it'll even out. Right, so over at Gadir, we now have the vineyard, temple, and I would also say food again. Now again, commerce is always good for the money, but I'm going hard on the food. We'll do a farm and grain silos for replenishment. Alright, spending a lot of money. It's good though, it's worth it. This army is like ready to go, full replenishment. I don't know if we should move them. I'd say stay here and repel attacks, honestly. Although, oh man, yeah, it'd be great to just start carving through Iberia. We just need the other armies to get up here soon. They just need to replenish. I mean, this turn you might replenish enough that you could just start moving back and going over. And you have so much movement range that you could probably get there. Not too worried about that. So what we've got, 3 legions here, a fleet there, another fleet. Why am I thinking that I'm missing an army? So that's 3, 4, and 5. And then 6. And then 2 of them are governors, yeah. I suppose we do just have this guy here just chilling, right? Lentulus. I mean, you could maybe go somewhere. Help the Iberian campaign. Oh, right. I didn't even check this. So Garamantians have inched forward. And we can no longer see the Egyptian army that was here. As a governor, you've leveled up. So we'll just go like this. It just improves things, basically. I'm going to be a bit lazy with it. Right, I don't think there's much else for this turn. I know I'm babbling on a lot, but the empire grows and sprawls, and there's a lot to take care of, but I think I'm doing okay. Not forgetting anything too obvious, so we'll just go through our spies and our agents last. Need to be better at just going down this list. That's the best way to just stay on top of things, I think. Don't have to worry about the governors, really. Yeah, you were going to go over there. You're staying where you are. And they're both deployed. And then there's another one in the army. You can hop out of the army now, actually. You're helping the upkeep cost. Oh, he's out of movement range. We'll have to do it at the beginning of next turn. But I'd rather him focus on the culture in Iberia. And then you're ready just to spring an attack on whatever happens in the north. Look at him, he's eager. Eager to prove himself. Who isn't when they're 16, you know? Yeah, we're at 8 out of 8. We've maxed out everything we can deploy. That said, 2 of our armies are just sitting there as, like, governors. But they do make a lot of money, so it's worth having. Alright, we've got 600,000 manpower at our disposal. That's an interesting screen, actually, because it shows us we're at war with Illygravones, Volcae, Carthage, Lusitani, Getae, and the Vetones. Then we've all these trade partners and 3 clients as it currently stands. Blue is client, yellow is us, red is who we're at war with. Right, let's end the turn. Let's see if anything happens over in Iberia. Oh, I'm not getting any technology. Yeah, sorry, we said we'd go down the military chain. Mercenary recruitment is reduced. Upkeep cost for all fleets reduced. Fleets are actually really expensive, but we only have 2 of them. Wanted to get the auxiliary barracks level 3, so I need to just see where that is. So maybe in tactics. Nope, must be in here then. So there it is. So we have to work towards that. It's quite far away. Elite Roman barracks, auxiliary barracks. Alright, so this is 4 turns, then 8, and then 12. This will be Imperial unit upgrades. Turn 210, Imperium 7. So yeah, we're still waiting on turn. We're at turn 101 now. Imperium 5. We're close to Imperium 5. Wow, what an insult. I'll just read this. Do these insolent dogs stir nothing in your bellies? Are you turned into women? The Garamantians are asking us to join their war against Egypt. You know, it's a totally reasonable thing to ask, but no. I don't think they understand the consequences that would cause for Rome at this current juncture. But we'll think about it. I mean, it's valuable trade, but it means going to war with Pergamon, and we saw they were shipping themselves all over the place. So let's chill for a little bit. We're busy in Iberia. Now, I think there's been a rebellion by the looks of things. Martial priorities. As your enemies gain strength, it's important to have a well-balanced military. I agree. kind of training would you like to focus? This would have been nice before I just raised a whole new legion, but it doesn't matter what we focus. Infantry, I guess, because we need 3 more units of infantry in that army. In Italy. What's this? Characters come of age. Oh, right, the education thing. Yeah, nice. Rebellion in Ibossum. Yeah, I don't know how I missed that. Liberated. Cartli and the Igrisi. Okay, that's fine. Missing supplies in Hispania. The daughters come of age. Calpurnia Dolapella. Nice. Peace negotiated. Interesting. Research something in siegecraft. No. Right, so yeah, we've got a rebellion. Balearic rebels. Now, we have a fleet here ready to defend, but we can't fight them because they're on land. What we could do is try to get one of these armies across now.
Ready for orders.
That's a difficult task, though, when you're not in a fleet. So, right, we'll dock Cursor in here, pick up this army, and then try to go to Ibossum before they gather too much strength to defeat our fleet while it's in port. That'd be rough. I'm hoping when we get on the fleet, we'll be able to get there next turn.
Ready for orders, Commander.
So do it. You actually replenished, even though you said you wouldn't. So that's interesting to see that.
Ready for orders.
And Cursor is fresh off of having, you know, new supplies and everything. And you're replenished really nicely, so you're going to go across here. And also defend Gadir. And get ready to push out against maybe the Vitonis. Maybe we could go to Kartuba next. Once you're done on Ibossum, we could maybe go land at Mastia or Ars. And come across that way. I do think this army, which I was going to send north, might start hopping on a fleet and getting moving over to Iberia to help out. Make a landing in the north somewhere. Because what else are they going to do? I think it would be worth now picking up some of those... Oh, got another resource thing we can upgrade. Picking up some of those troops down here, which we could actually reach. Wow, you've got great movement range.
Your next command.
So 3 units. So we could get Tarantine White Shields. A phalanx of hoplites from Taurus. The most distinctive feature in one of their... which gives their name is their white painted shield emblazoned with the name of their king. Another king. I don't like the sound of that. Apulian heavy infantry. Now, we've got a lot of heavy infantry. I like the idea of balancing it out a bit more with, like, the phalanx. Syracusan infantry. Wow, there's so much here. Oh, yeah, archers. It's hard not to go with them. Sardinian archers. What do we have here? Polybian elite spear maniple. Right. The Peregrini, the foreign population here, is so low. We could only get 10 of these units ever. What I'm thinking is get rid of some Velites, take on the archers, and take on the white shields. I think that'd be kind of cool. Kind of sick of Velites. So I'm going to try it. So we'll disband them into this region. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then 4, and that'll be it. But there'll be like no Peregrini left here. But that's what I'm gonna go with. So it'll be 2 turns before we can get them. But we can keep moving south, cross over into Sicily, and take a boat then west. I think it'd be good to do. So not fully Roman army anymore, but I don't mind. In some ways, you don't even really need the Triari. The way I'm going about this, trying to create a different army, a more recognizable army of something else. Maybe we could just land in south of Spain and pick up something unique there. Alright, not much else to really be concerned about. Faction destroyed Sardis. Wow, they were not long for this world. They just came back and then gone again. Alright, not much to do. I can't really move until both these armies are free to go against Kartuba. This would be fun though, because it's a wooden walled settlement. Well, just looking at it there, it actually looks like stone, but I'm sure it's wood. Tribal settlements usually have wooden walls. So it'll be a bit different gameplay-wise, just to encounter that. I guess it'll be next video, probably. Anything else? What's been going on down here? Ooh, that doesn't look good. So you've got a full stack moving up now. That's the other army I would expect. The one that was down here, seemingly gone. Well, we'll just back off then. It's interesting. Lucius Libo, grey beard. Getting a little old. A little weathered. He was a great general for a long time, but then he, we just sat him around Sicily for years and years. Then he did some activities in Africa, now he just sits around down here, deciding whether you should attack or not. We do have this army as well, which is close to what I was talking about in that army up there. We could move them and let Lucius just hold the line himself down here. If all kicks off, maybe we'll reinforce it, but I'm tempted to really put the hurt on Iberia fast. Get the job done. So let's get moving. Let's get moving. Lentulus can head up north. So yeah, I mean, leaving Libo down here, it's just because he seems more capable. He's got elephants, things like that, like a more experienced army. I'm more confident defending with him rather than just this one, just in case it all kicks off. But yeah, you can get moving now to Iberia, and we'll get a bit of a rotation going. Speaking of, the other guys, yeah, that's all done now. Okay, I don't think there's anything left for me. Just quickly check these different provinces. Now, I upgraded the wine up here. Is that... It's only 2 squalor. It's not too bad. Yeah, that's alright. Okay, cool. Not much else to do then, I don't think. Just move our spies. Not too much going on down there. And we have our spy down here. These two are going to meet, basically, now. I don't need to go that way. Let's go this way. The spy can deploy. Yeah, it might be better for you to go check out what's going around the Alps in Massalia then. You can only have 2 spies. It's crazy. Alright, well, that's going to be it. Let's just end the turn there. Alright, a rival banquet. One of the other parties has organized a banquet in your capital threatening your hegemony. How do you react? Attend it. I love it. Let's go. Alright, we've got some increases in rank. Right, so we're trying to deal with the rebellion, so let's move this fleet first. Man, that is not a good movement range. They're going to be gaining a lot, but by the time we get there, that really sucks. Why is that so low? This changes so much. I never really fully get it, you know? Other times we've seen us being able to move quite far. Like, Cursor has really great movement speed. I wonder, is the movement of the Quintus Strabo, like, lower, and does that hurt it or something? Because it is an escort, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know. We're being raided by a very small Carthaginian fleet. Can't leave the port of Ibossum, though. Bit dangerous. Could we do military subversion? No. Alright. Just deploy there. We have our other governor here who can deploy as well. Right, so I'm a little nervous about even leaving this place because it's a small fleet. It's only 5 units, but could we I mean, we could defend against 5 units, right? What have they got? 9? The garrison is like 200 men at the moment, so actually not until this fully finishes. But we could brave it and try to get Brutus to go attack this on his own. I can't see here anymore, so I'm going to run back down here. Oh, it's a very weak army. Not too worried about them. I mean, this is what we'll be deciding in the next episode. Hey, we just hit 100,000, by the way. Sweet. The farms could level up. Let's do it. The Empire gets so big now that I, don't fully crunch the numbers on all the buildings that we build. And I just kind of wing it. And if we have a problem, I hope I can get back to it and solve it later. Right, this spy can move over towards the Volcae Texasages. Alright, as expected. Let's increase your line of sight. Do you have that? Let's just do that one. 10 line of sight, cunning based. Good. Alright, it's gone like real quiet. The music's like totally gone off. Construction report. Right, various things in Tingi have been built, level 1 out of their mines. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Just keep going through this list. So you don't need to move. The fleet's already moved. This fleet needs to stay where it is. They were the ones docked here, I guess, hurting public order. Oh, yeah. They're the ones that caused the rebellion. My bad. You're possibly ready to go to Cartuba. I'll think about that. Legio 1 Latium. Egypt are just bouncing in and out, defending Ogila every time they get attacked, so don't need to do anything different here. We could just stay in patrol stance, I guess. I'm not really worried. I would maybe patrol over here if we could.
Make haste, men.
They actually stayed in patrol stance, that's good. Right, so Legio 3 Sicily, Concordialis, yep, you're going to keep moving this way. I'll just let you auto-move, basically. Alright. And then our legion that's recruiting. So 2 more archers are on the go. Be great to get some balearic slingers instead, actually.
Make haste, men.
But we have to get that in on the island of Ibossim, I think. So 2 more,
Come, fight for
and then we're ready to go. Oh, you're on your way anyway. Follow. Long journey for a young man such as him. Is he 17 now? Yep, 17. 17 with 7 authority. Yeah, we've never done any of those different things like plotting assassinations and such. So our daughter Calpurnia, she's only 15. Let's maybe give her a couple of years before we marry her off. And you're 17 as well. Mr. Muss. Maybe Muss and Fullo could, like... What are they, cousins, I guess? So you're... Well, adopted sister's son. So your nephew, I suppose. But you're the same age. Yeah. That's Roman families for you, I guess. Right. So, yeah, I would say... I mean, really, in the next turn we should decide this. But I think we're going to go there. So we'll leave it for this turn. Or for this video, I mean. But next video, we're going to go to Qartuba. I'm going to get more aggressive in Iberian, speed it up. So Qartuba, if we don't take much losses, we're straight onto the Placia. I don't need 2 armies every time. We'll just go with 1. Our quality should beat their quality. It's just their numbers that worry me. But we're not seeing too many numbers right now. We're also on the go to try and handle that rebellion. And we're always keeping an eye on Egypt just in case. We're bringing another army who's getting ready over this way to go to Iberia. Although... by the time he's almost there, Iberia might be mostly wrapped up. So you could even maybe go back and reinforce Egypt and help your dad out, which could be kind of cool. Fullo and his father Libo. Training together like that, starting a war on Egypt, maybe. Back in the day when I played Rome 1, I used to tell little stories like that to myself. I remember I had Gaius Scipio. I played as the Scipii. And he came down to Sicily, wrecked the Carthaginians, moved all the way down to Egypt, fought the most brutal wars against Egypt. I brought him all the way down, ended up in Antioch. And by the time he was here, he was 83. And it was just Gaius Scipio, you're starting, like one of the starting guys. But he had a kid. And, well, actually, the story, I know I'm just going to tell you the story anyway, but feel free to click off the video now, it's over. But Gaius Scipio had a child, and but he just wasn't very good, frankly. I can't remember why. Just some of his like traits or whatever just didn't lean into being a good commander, at least. So I can't remember what I did with him, just never really utilized him that well. But we did get an army that was alongside Gaius's legion down here that was a captain. And the general died, right? So the general of this army died, and then you got this option to promote the man of the hour. So it said like Captain Manius, that was his name. Captain Manius was man of the hour. And I was like, oh, I'd never heard that name. I was obviously like 14. I was like, Manius, oh, so manly. So let's go with him. So I was like, yeah, obviously promote him. This is cool. And then the 2 tag teamed all the different, so that happened about down here actually, and they tag teamed the rest of Egypt. And I found Egypt really difficult at the time. This would have been my 2nd or 3rd playthrough by this point. Really difficult, didn't know how to deal with their chariots. They were pumping out stacks, but eventually they got the job done. Gaius became Gaius the Conqueror. Oh no, he became Gaius the Great. Eventually he was like Gaius the Conqueror, Gaius the Great. He was 84, and I made Manius the faction heir when they were in Antioch. And he was 84. And I was like, this is crazy how long he lived. I say it was my 3rd playthrough. It was probably like my 10th playthrough, to be honest. Of like different factions and playing multiple times. Anyways, it was great. So I was like, sweet. And I left him there for multiple turns and he didn't die. He just stayed there. And I think when he was 84, I was then like, all right, Egypt as a faction were destroyed. It's up to Manius now to go and do various things. So I sent Gaius Scipio back on a boat for immersion all the way back to Rome, and he got to Rome, stayed there for I think about 3 turns, and then died. And he died at the age of 87. Shout out to Gaius Scipio. Manius went on, without being too laborious with this like weird story or whatever, Manius mostly took on like factions that were here. I think it was I guess it would have been Pontus or someone. I can't really remember too much, but I remember when I got to Thrace, he died in a battle against Thrace. And he was a great general. He was like 8 stars or something. I was like, oh my god, sucks. But he had a son as well. Can't remember his son's name. But I made sure that his son finish the job, right? So this is where I'm relating it back to Libo and his son. It's like, yeah, together they were fighting like Thrace. Thrace were actually really big at the time. For some reason, Macedon had like fallen away, and Thrace owned like a huge amount here, and I think they actually owned part of Turkey or whatever. So yeah, he died. Oh yeah, he died at the... Is it Nicomedia? I guess so. It wasn't... It was before he could get to Byzantium. He had died. So like his son went in. I remember the whole thing was like, yeah, his son's going to exterminate the whole town of population. I burned all the buildings. And he made sure he killed Thrace like as a faction to avenge his father Manius. And then he was the faction leader at the time because his dad had died. Anyway, it was the whole thing. So yeah, I lived all, you know, even as a kid, that's the kind of way I played the game. It's like I'm going to make little stories, and I never wrote those out or told anyone. I just told friends and stuff in school, or just did it for myself. I always thought it was super dope. And it all came from just having the most basic family tree, but it was like, yeah, your son's gonna like avenge you, and then you'd read their traits and they'd say things in battle. So cool. So maybe we'll try to recapture some of that spirit. As you can see with my playthrough, I spent a long time just trying to know these characters, because I never really did with Rome 2 too much. So it's been nice. It adds a little bit of texture to being like, yeah, I know Brutus as a character, I know him as a general, I know his army, I know what he's capable of. Politically, I don't know anything about him, unfortunately, because he's in his own family. But it's still cool, like, having him there. So this family tree is much more limited because, like, well, because of the politics of the game, I can't really do much within this family until you become an empire. And that's not till, like, you've already beaten the game. So there's just not much to do character-wise. And the fact that characters are just, like, randomly generated anyway, it just completely, like, takes everything away. Not from your kids, but when you need a new one. It's like, okay, I need another character. Boom. Random character disappears. You couldn't do that in the old game. They all had to be part of the family. So it's different, but I think leading into it and having the mods on where they're actually aging, the way I've seen Libo age now, just kind of reinvigorated that in me. And I'm like, oh, maybe you should go down and see your father, you know? Maybe you should. Anyway, thanks for listening. That's going to be it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.